And when, like I said, when will this happen? I don't know. Like I was saying to Bonnie, sample the other day, I have no idea. It'll be one snowflake. It will be something in the Philippines, whatever. Somebody did something, and you say, oh, well, they broke down our real estate market. No, it's the whole freaking thing is attached together. Okay? It's like playing musical chair. And like I said, when we're going to sit down, it depends which side of the trade you're in. So, how much gold and silver should you have? Jim Ricard says 10 to 20% of your assets. I mean, if you have $100,000, you should have $10,000 worth of gold. Plain and simple. You know, just to protect yourself. If it never happens, at least you've got this sitting there. If it does go up by 500% or 1,000% or whatever, and your stock goes down by half, at least boom, that goes back up. So you're sort of protected. Paul and I, we were on for more percentage than that because we believe that, we strongly believe to our DNA, to ourselves, that ain't going to happen. Those digital numbers are going to disappear. That's just plain and simple. It's like I said, it's a claim check. And there's bank bail-ins or bank bailouts, like we explained in the video before. Same result.
Yeah, this is insidious.
Yeah. So I could show you another clip, but you know, I'd rather open it maybe a little bit before I go. I think you get the picture now. There's some great book. I love this book, Prosper by Chris Martenson. I didn't bring the book with me. I like him because he doesn't really talk just about the financial system. He talks about other wealth, having spiritual wealth, having, you know, other values, other things that could be measured as wealth also. It's called Prosper. I like him. And then there's this one here, Invest in Gold and Silver. That Mike Maloney, write this name, Mike Maloney. Go on the internet and pull out some of his videos. I sent it to you, the email, I sent it to you 3-4 months ago, and I said, you got to listen to the Hidden Secrets of Money. Those 6 videos are so informative because it explains from way, way back the bartering and the gold and how it all came about, and how did the Federal Reserve and how it's working right now, and how they're printing monies and how they're printing IOUs. They're backed by nothing.
And it's not as complicated as they make it.
No.
I mean, they call it quantitative easing. It's printing money. Negative interest rate policy. You know, TARP, Troubled Asset Relief Program. You know, they're throwing, it's just money and debt, really, and then interest.
Jim Ricard, I've just finished listening to his audiobook also, The New Case for Gold, and he's almost guaranteed that it's going to be $10,000 an ounce for gold. Because, just because if you take the M1 money, the money in circulation, and then you just back up that money, you've got to go up to $10,000. If you were to back up the debt, it could go up to $50,000 an ounce. That's what Jim Sinclair is doing.
Yeah, they don't even count them one anymore.
No, anyway. So anyway, and go on YouTube. That's about the last place that there is good alternative news from private people, and who knows for how long. As of October 1st, ICANN US basically is controlling the internet, and it's going to be passed on to the UN, United Nations. So who knows how much restriction, or basically, you know, restricting some stuff that we say on there and
I
whatever.
certainly don't want you finding it.
No, because at some point, even right now, they are censoring. A lot of people that are saying certain things on the internet, their video gets demonetized, deleted, screwed up. We can name a lot of them that their videos are getting, because, yeah. Free speech is, you know, a lot of things, the Constitution basically in the States is getting ripped apart, big time. So in all of this, be still, stay calm, you will find the solution. You might absorb all of this information and you're going to go home, and one of the first things, I know human nature, what we do, we run to our friends or one of our family members and say, I just went to this presentation, what do you think? You know what? You're going to get an earful, you know, by most of the people.
Well, you'll probably be ignored.
Yeah, or saying that you're crazy or you're falling off the wagon and everything's fine, everything's good. So, the best thing to do, sit down, be still, and pray and ask God for guidance. And you know what? You will find all the answers for your own situation and what you need to do. Because when you pray, you're talking to God. But when you're sitting down, be still, you will receive gut feeling. When you have gut feeling, that's the universe talking to you. But if you have your mind cluttered with all kinds of shit, your car full of shit, your house full of shit, you can't receive, your line is busy. God cannot talk to you.
Hallelujah.
It's just that plain and simple. The universe do not like negative people. Do you like to hang around negative people? Absolutely not. Well, the universe says, screw you, I'm not talking to you because you're too busy being worried, you're too busy being fearful, you're too busy chattering about, just listen to this, and it will come. The answer will come to you. I didn't do all of what I've done this march of taking all my investment and going to where I wanted to be here. I didn't do this overnight. It was a transition. It's something that took me time. It's something that I had to, fall into my gut on where it was supposed to be. I even have this discussion. Nancy knows it 110%. She believes it. She believes it because she even took her own money and she put it in gold and silver also. Because she knows about the food and nutrition, how much the government has screwed up our food.
Yes.
With the GMOs and all that stuff. So it wasn't hard for me to convince her to go into the gold and silver because she knows that part is screwed up too. Do you understand that? But sometimes, even her and myself too, we have doubt. Sometimes she says to me, why do you listen to so much of that? I have to. I have to because otherwise I go back into with the sheepos and I get slaughtered here. I can't. I got to stay here. I got to keep focused. And sometimes Nancy too, she just say, oh, well, this is not going to happen and all that stuff. I said, dear, you're not going to change my mind. There is nothing that will make me change my mind right now. Absolutely not. I am so convinced that's where I am. Anyway, I hope this was informative. I hope this was good. If you have any questions, Paul will hang around. If you don't mind, Paul could hang around. He bought some samples, I believe, of gold and silver, so you can actually look at it. But don't
Are you
jump
sure?
in.
That's why he's that big. He can take
Don't
you
jump
out.
on in. And I hope this was informative.
We're gonna.
Thank you, Ivan. It's unfortunate that you have to run because there's probably many people have many questions.
Well, go ahead. I got 5 minutes while I pack up.
So we
Go
have a
ahead.
question in the back, so let's go.
My question is not if there's something cataclysmic and everything, all the numbers involved, but let's say that we do have a correction of whatever magnitude it is within the next short period. What do you recommend that we do personally in terms of real estate and also in terms of clients?
Well, like I said, if you have real estate, exposure to real estate, and first-time home buyers that comes and see me and they want to buy an $800,000 house, I don't want to. I said, if you're making a side move and you're going from $500,000 to $500,000, fine. If someone wants to downsize right now, I'm all over them. As soon as they say to me, well, I think I'm going to do this in the next year or two. Oh my God. I am all over them So if you have real estate, if you have much exposure in real estate that you could withstand a 20% or 30% drop, no problem. Can you live with, if you have 5 rentals and 3 of them are empty, if you're okay with that, fine. However, if you feel that you're on the edge of being leveraged, just, maybe come back in line to being less leveraged. Does that make sense?
If things were to collapse, wouldn't the rental market be in more demand?
Pardon me?
If things were to collapse, as you're talking about, wouldn't the rental market be in more demand?
Yeah, rentals would be very
Yeah.
good.
Would the banks really allow the market to collapse?
If they're on the short side of the trade,
They're not in the business of owning properties, so at the end of the day, they ultimately don't want that to go south.
No, but if there is a major correction, debtors might be winners. Like the last time in 2008, there were people that lived in their house for 4 or 5 years, rent-free, and the bank says, I don't want it.
They're still living in their houses.
That's right.
They're not paying.
They haven't
they're not
finished,
paying their
I don't
mortgage.
think they have finished flushing 100%.
They
Because I
have not,
remember,
they haven't gotten rid of any of that stuff. It's sitting on the Federal Reserve's books right now, all that stuff from Fannie Mae,
We're
Freddie
talking the
Mac.
US office.
Well, the US is.
It's the same here.
The problem
It's not
is,
that bad here.
the reason he talks about the US is that the US is the world's reserve currency. So everything's priced in US dollars. Oil is priced in US dollars. Commodities are priced in US dollars. It could be another currency, and it will be one day. But right now, in the present moment, it's the US, right?
you just saw the video clip that I showed you. All the banks are exposed to derivatives. That's, when you're talking Royal Bank, $11.7 trillion, don't tell me that it's different here. It's not different. For the size of the bank, it's a lot of debt to hold for a bank. It's a lot of leverage.
We used to have a very, very stable banking system in Canada, one of the best in the world. That stopped in 1998. And in the United States as well, they repealed what was called Glass-Steagall, which separated banking from investment banking. So just mortgages where you go get your bank, that's old boring stuff for the banks. But frankly, banks are needed, right? There should be a utility to the economy. But when they allowed the banks to also issue insurance, issue mutual funds, they started to commingle, okay, the funds that should be secure, right? Why do you need an insurance company for your bank deposits? Because they're taking them and they're using them, and they've developed a derivative market that Ivan's talked about. I mean, what they tell us is that the world's GDP is $73 trillion. What they've admitted to is a derivative complex of $1.5 quadrillion. You know, think about that, $1 billion, $1 billion, right, and a trillion. 1,000 billion dollars is a trillion. Now we're into a quadrillion.
It's hard to think about that.
It's
And like I said, we could have maybe, like Rod, maybe we can have a little bit better system here in Canada. But I just showed you the
Icebergs.
no, not the, at first, that's second slide, spider net.
Yeah.
If, we're not gonna be immune here.
No.
Let's just say there is a big crash here. How can we survive? Because we're all attached together. Our debt is here and our debt is there, and we own, like, we all.
That's why they wouldn't let Greece fail, right?
And that's
why
how small Greece is. It's
Yeah.
just one tiny little piece probably of the spider web.
if Greece fails, Europe fails. If Europe fails, America fails. That's why.
And failing doesn't mean like we all gonna live under a bridge tomorrow. It just means there might be a transition where we're gonna have to, we're going, like they're working right now. The reason it hasn't come out probably is because they can't agree on the details of the new world system.
Can credit unions own derivatives? Are they a safer institution than a bank?
They used to be, yeah, but not anymore. They do not play as big a role as the big banks, because they're just not as big. But again, they used to be separated, right? And frankly, this Glass-Steagall came about in 1934, and it was in place that separated banking from investment banking till 1998. And it was okay, it worked, right? When they took that away, right, then we had the high-tech bubble, the housing bubble, and they've allowed them, they haven't reined them in. There's a big movement in the United States by certain members of Congress to bring back Glass-Steagall. The banks, of course, don't want that, right? They want to continue the party, right? The fact, this is very, it's one thing for a corporation to go bankrupt. It's one thing for a stock to go to zero. A country can go bankrupt. It's happened before. But the world going bankrupt has never happened before. We've never had negative interest rates. We have 14 trillion of sovereign bonds trading today at negative interest rates. Think about that.
I'll leave you with this.
Anyway,
Thank you, Ivan.
They don't send an email or whatever,
Yeah.
but.
One last question.
Yes.
Where do I buy my gold bar?
Right there.
Question, what about other precious things like vivid diamonds, stuff like that?
Well, we don't deal in diamonds, I have an opinion on diamonds, and we deal with platinum as well and palladium. You know, diamonds, if you look deeply into it, it's basically a monopoly of the De Boer family. They're beautiful, they can be, you know, you're not gonna get it off your wife's finger. They're shiny, they're pretty, they're not rare, okay? The Russians can make them in the laboratory using lasers. They're not rare. They tell you they're rare, but they're not. So I mean, yeah, I mean, they're beautiful stones, and they look great, and they're very pretty.
It's a perceived value.
It's got, you know, it's another one of these, you know, I had a guy trying to sell me the colored diamonds, right? And telling me, oh, here's one for 80,000, here's one for 100,000. You know, and I'm looking at it going, it's very pretty, you know, but it's a rock. It is a rock, is what it is. So, you know, I mean, look,
And also
if you get in, you know, it's a housing market. I mean, if you get in and get out, you know, and then go into farmland or gold or something, great. But if you're on the other side, right, when things go, you're gonna be, you know, it's the same thing whether it's housing or stocks or anything else.
I mean, good luck finding a buyer for that diamond later too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because you need raw cash.
Never know that, right?
So where do
You know,
you
you'd
come
be-
across your gold? I
Pardon me?
mean, you're not gonna sell us your gold, so where do you get your gold?
We are a member of the LBMA, the London Bullion Metals Association, so we're ISO approved. We buy directly from, we're authorized to buy from anybody. We can buy from the Canadian Mint. We buy directly from the refiners. So this is Heraeus, this is our main refiner. They are a German company. They've been around, let's see, 130 years. They did $32 billion in business last year. The refinery is in Switzerland. Yeah, so we buy directly from the refiners. Yeah. We can buy from the mint, but the problem with the mint is you have to commit to $100 million.
When you buy the gold, where's it stored? Because this is another risk
We, well, that's,
of any hard
Well, we want the
Yeah.
physical gold, right?
yeah.
The physical gold is a
Where-
risk.
so where-
We sell vaulting, well, I would recommend not a bank, but I would recommend either you store it at home. You know, if you have a good solid marriage and, you know, I know somebody who got divorced and he's buried it in his backyard, so
Yikes.
that's a problem. But I mean, we offer vaulting
Where is that?
services.
That's the problem.
We offer vaulting services for a fee. It's roughly about 1%. That covers insurance. It's through private security companies, and the reason is the private security companies are not associated with the banks, okay? So we use Brinks, we use Melka Amit, okay? We can store around the world for you. I personally,
Is that 1% per year?
it's roughly 1%. I mean, if you've got 10,000 or 10 million, it's
But is it 1% of what you?
ballpark. Yeah,
But is it per year?
Annually.
yeah.
It's per year.
And that covers the insurance. That's what that is. You know, the actual storage, there's a vault in Toronto, right? That's the storage plus the insurance. I know clients who put it in a PVC pipe and bury it. I've got a client who's a farmer who buys bars like this and paints them. And they're sitting in his garden, you know, red brick, right? A gold, literally, a gold bar. I mean, you can get very creative, you know, when you, yeah.
Is it better to have smaller amounts or to have a whole brick?
It depends on the individual. All of these are the same in the sense that these are all 24 karat. Gold, silver,
How much
coins.
is that one?
Which one? In Canadian?
Yes.
Well, that's 100 ounces right here. and Canadian price is roughly $25 an ounce right now. And that's the difference. I mean, silver,
That's silver.
you know, this is equivalent to this. I could put $100,000 of gold in your hand, right? $100,000 worth of silver, and we gotta get the truck, right? So, silver's got, I love silver, I love gold. I like silver for two reasons. It's got a longer monetary history than gold, okay? Gold used to be just for the king and the queen and the emperor, right? Silver was for us, right? But what I like silver is that it has industrial applications.
Yeah.
You know, all of you have laptops, cell phones, solar panels, you know, it's got over 1,000 industrial applications. So I like silver. But, you know, this is far easier to work with. And I mean, it depends on the individual. Do you want to be carrying around, you know, I can get you a 1,000-ounce bar. They're really heavy. You know, you want to feel this.
More thinking in terms of if you do need it.
Yeah,
To
well, I
cash
mean,
it
I
in, is it
recommend.
easier to do smaller
I
amounts?
recommend, yeah, no.
What's the smallest amount you can buy a binder?
32 ounces?
You know, I've got a client, you know, 50, what do you want, gold or silver?
Well, I don't know either.
I mean,
God, that's heavy.
literally anything. I mean, it's, you know, our company, obviously, we do small. We've got clients that buy 500 ounces of silver. We've got clients that buy $1 million worth of, you know, silver a month, right? Everything in between.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
My father-in-law collected Canadian silver coins from way back when.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
Yeah.
It weighs about 4 pounds.
1964, pre-64.
All that, the stuff that kind of the posts and all
That's
that. Sorry.
That's an ounce of, that's a gold maple leaf. That's
And-
$1,700.
And it's better melted.
Well, here's something for you. In you know, they talked about the minimum wage, a lot of, you know, they want to raise the minimum wage. The minimum wage in 1964 was the equivalent of 5 silver quarters, which if you melted 5 silver quarters from 1964 today is $17. It's nothing, it's nothing more than money. That's all it is. It's,
You
you
can
know,
do that.
if it goes to 5,000, well, you could be paying $20 for your oil, your gas. Right? It's just money.
So the next question is, where do we do, we're not gonna sell it or auction it, we just.
Well, I mean, if you've got, we do buy, you know, if I sell it to you, I'll buy it automatically. If somebody comes to me and they've got gold or silver, and I didn't sell it, I have to assay it, which means I have to drill a hole in the bar and, you know, make sure that what you're selling me is gold.
These are just coins.
Yeah, I mean, you go to a coin dealer, you
Don't
know,
wanna do that.
okay.
Because they're not gonna wanna, we know the value of it, it's not worth, the coins actually, it's melted
Most
down.
coin dealers deal directly, they'll take and they melt it down.
Yeah.
There's a place up in Brampton that does the refining. We do refining as well, but not on that scale.
Yeah.